Let's face it, even if I were dressed in my normal clothes, and not the unicorn cheek, no one like him would ever go out with someone like me. I was a skater kid's girlfriend, not the homecoming queen. And this wasn't some bad 80s Molly Ringwald movie like Pretty in Pink. Besides, I reminded myself as I forced my gaze away from his beautiful face, he was probably dumb and spoiled and used to girls fawning over him. Good-looking guys usually were, especially if they found themselves in the popular clique, as if this guy had. I'm sure he would annoy the hell out of me the second he opened his mouth. Still, I had to admit, there was just something about him. I realized the four of them had stopped in front of me. Oh, joy. Time to be sized up and judged by the popular clique. This day was getting more and more like a bad after-school special every minute. After the commercial break, I'd probably start drinking and doing drugs just to fit in, only to have my best friend die and my mother convince me to head to rehab and restart my life, friendless, sober, and alone, but strangely happy and peaceful about it all. Nice shirt, Chelsea sniffed, giving me a once-over. Yeah, I think my 5-year-old sister has one just like it, Lucy added snottily.
Hey, leave the girl alone, Billy said with a smirk. It's obvious she's horny.
He cracked up at his own lame joke.
Get it, horny? Like the unicorn on her shirt?
He high-fived Chad, who seemed a bit reluctant to slap his hand back. Or maybe it was just my imagination. In the meantime, the hallway erupted in laughter and jeers, totally egging him on. I could feel my face burning with humiliation as I stared at my feet, wishing to be anywhere in the world but here. I couldn't believe it. 2 minutes into my new school year, and I was already the class joke. I suddenly realized Grandma was squinting at Billy intently. At first I thought she may be considering coming to my aid, but then her face lit up and squealed. Billy? Billy Henderson? Is that you? To my new arch-nemesis. I cringed. I had no idea what was coming, but I knew it couldn't be good. Sure enough, Billy stiffened.
Hi, Miss Miller,
he mumbled out of the corner of his mouth. I cocked my head in question. The two of them knew each other? A split second later, Grandma had let go of my hand to crush Billy in a tight embrace. Guess so. Oh, Billy, she crowed, releasing him from the hug. It's so good to see you. You're all grown up now. Last time I saw you, you were 4 feet tall and still wetting the bed. Laughter broke out among a crowd and Billy's face darkened to a beet red. I gaped in horror. This was not happening. This could not be happening. My grandmother embarrassed the most popular kid in school on my first day. Billy whirled around to face the crowd.
Shut up, he growled. She's lying, I swear.
Was it too late to pretend the old woman had Alzheimer's and had wandered into the school by mistake? Absolutely no relation to me whatsoever? Billy, this is my granddaughter, Maddy. Evidently it was. She shoved me forward, having no idea about the scene she was causing. Maddy, do you remember Billy from back when you were little? He used to live down the street. I babysat him when his mother was at work. I stared at Billy. He stared back at me, his face a mixture of humiliation and fury. I read his expression as clear as day. I was the one who would pay for this public embarrassment, and I would pay dearly. After all, the others might have eventually forgotten about my fashion faux pas. But Billy would never forget this.
Come on, Grandma,
I said, steering her towards the door marked Main Office.
I need to get my schedule.
Come on, Grandma, Billy mocked in a high-pitched voice as the elderly woman turned away. Let's go home and play with unicorns. I glared at him, wanting nothing more than to smack him upside the head and wipe that ugly smirk off his face. But what good would it do, really? There was no winning for me in this situation, and I knew it. So I sucked up my pride and turned away, following Grandma into the office, where she was talking to a secretary. I think you're all set now, Madeline, she declared, handing me a slip of paper. I've done my grandmotherly duties. Now you behave yourself on your first day. I sighed and took the schedule. Thanks, Grandma, I said. Have a great day, sweetie, and I'll see you back at the house tonight. Stepping out into the hall, she called out, I'll even make you your favorite bunny rabbit cookies. Ah, yes, bunny rabbit cookies I liked back when I was 6 years old. The icing on the anti-cool cake. Bye, Grandma, I said, resigning myself to the fate of the school loser. I reluctantly stepped into the hallway and faced the masses again. Aren't you going to say goodbye to Grandma? Chelsea was teasing Billy, nudging him in the ribs. He glowered at her.
Shut the hell up,
He growled.
I don't even know who that crazy loon was.
She certainly seemed to know you. Billy wets the bed, Billy wets the bed, Lucy chimed in a sing-song voice.
Shut up!
Billy roared. He met my eyes with his, furious and full of hatred.
You are so dead, freak girl,
he muttered under his breath. Then he pushed by me and into the crowd, which parted for him as it did before. His gang followed him, still giggling. Chad lagged behind, glancing backwards. He caught my eye and gave a sheepish shrug, and mouthed the word, sorry. Then he and his friends turned the corner and disappeared. I stared after them, shocked by Chad's apology. I had so not expected that. Maybe he was different from his friends. Not that it mattered. Nice or not, he was still way out of my league and I knew it. Still, he was so cute. So cute. Wow, way to make a first impression, said a voice to my right as the crowd dispersed. I looked over to see the Elvis Costello boy on my right. He wore a black turtleneck, dark blue jeans, and thick black glasses over his brown eyes. Very hipster nerd chic. I'm Matt, he said, holding out a hand. And you, Maddy, may have just embarrassed the most powerful kid in school. I didn't say anything, I protested weakly, knowing that it didn't matter. I was guilty by association, and while Billy couldn't retaliate against Grandma, he could, and would make my life a living hell. I just knew it. This is so not how I wanted my first day to begin. Meh, it's not really about you, you know. Those guys pretty much hate everyone else not in their immediate social circle, and that means 95% of the school. Funny when you consider the same 95% loves them and worships the ground they walk on. I made a face. Well, not me. Count me in for hating the haters, thank you very much. Except maybe Chad. He was different. But I wasn't about to admit that to Matt. The haters, haha, Matt chuckled. That's a fitting name, actually. The bell rang, cutting him off. Gotta get to class, he said, winking at me. See you around, and don't let the haters get you down. End Chapter 1.